and just making everyone start talking into the mic.
Yes, yeah. Just a reminder, when you do speak, to talk into the microphones. So my name is Amy Croto. It is August 29th. The time is 10:05 a.m. We are here in the Selectmen's Conference Room, second floor of Town Hall, for a dog hearing of Muniz versus Osland. I'll read into the record the notice of hearing dated August 15th, 2024, was sent to Ms. Jessica Muniz, was sent to Ms. Ashley Osland, 800 Bierce's Way, number 4, SE, Hyannis, Mass. 02601. Dear Ms. Osland, I've scheduled a hearing under the provisions of Chapter 140, Section 157 of the Mass General Laws on Thursday, August 29th, 2024 at 10 a.m. based on a complaint received regarding a dog harbored by you. The complaint states that the dog has a vicious disposition, which is in violation of the Town of Barnstable Dog Regulations, specifically Chapter 403-15. The hearing will take place at Town Hall, 367 Main Street, Hyannis, Mass., in the Selectmen's Conference Room on the second floor. You'll be given every opportunity to be heard at this time. I request that you make every effort to attend this hearing. Sincerely, Mark SL's Town Manager. This was delivered in hand to Ashley Osland by Animal Control Officer Charlie Lewis on August 16th, 2024 at 9 a.m. So anyone providing testimony, do you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear that the evidence you're about to give in this matter is the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
So help me God.
All right. Thank you. So we will start with you.
Sorry, running late, 5 minutes, Jacqueline.
Okay. Are you planning on providing testimony today? Yes. All right, then I just need you to sign in with your first, last name, and address.
Word gets around, huh?
There you go.
And where do you reside?
800 Bierce's Way,
An apartment?
4 South D, 4SD.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so Jessica.
So on Sunday, August 11, I was walking my dogs out and I took the stairs and I take a left, and which I do it every day. So I was walking my dogs and I hear someone saying, no, no, no. And when I turn around, there was a pit bull being held by a child. And this pit bull was already aggressive. And he came, and with the speed that I could not see what was going on. And then the pit bull bit one of my dogs. He was tore. He grabbed into his neck, and he wouldn't let go. And my dog, he lay on the ground. I didn't know. He was in fear because the only thing I could see was his eyes trying to look at me. And I could tell that he was in fear, and I started screaming. My other dog kept barking too. The kid that was holding the dog, he started screaming too, until a neighbor showed up. He saw what was going on. He came back. He got a broomstick and tried to put the dog away because he wouldn't let go. And then the dog's owner came, tried to take the dog away, but with no effort. And until he put this thick broom into his mouth to let it go, then she was able to grab the dog, but the dog was strong that he broke free. He went and attacked my other dog. Same thing, he went for his neck. And then they tried to do the same thing, put in the broomstick to his mouth. Another neighbor showed up and was able to grab the dog, and then I run into my neighbor's house to protect and see how my dogs were doing.
Okay, I see you have some photographs there. Are those photos you want entered into the record?
Yes, so I just want to show my dogs because
Okay,
they are golden retrievers, so they are very friendly. And another things that I want to show, it's on the process of trying to protect my dogs out of that pit bull. I got hurt, and I have photos of that.
okay. So we'll have to make copies of all of these.
That's okay. And I have photos of a different day of the child holding, walking the dog too. But that was a different day, and I put a no on the back.
Okay,
And he's completely without a leash. We understand that condo may have different rules, but I just want to show that I don't believe a kid should be walking out a dog this strong without any supervision. And I've been reporting this actions for a long time, and I have a photo here with a screenshot that it shows that I've been reporting this since 2023. And this is not an occasion of, oh, an accident happened, like the dog got free and attacked us. No, this has been going on for a long time, and
just a side note, Greg, I'm assuming this text message is to you?
yes.
Yes,
Okay,
from what I see.
okay.
I also have a letter from another neighbor who saw everything. She wrote a letter. She couldn't be here today.
Okay. Do you want me to read the letter into the record now?
You could, yes.
So we will have to make copies of all of these things to get back to you after. So this is a letter dated August 29th from Renata Jordow, 800 Bierces Way, apartment 5NC. To whom it may concern, I'm writing to express my regret that I cannot attend the upcoming hearing regarding the incident at Cape Crossroads on August 11th, 2024, due to work obligations. However, I want to provide this letter as my formal testimony, as I directly witnessed the event in question. At approximately 12:10 p.m. on August 11th, 2024, I witnessed a distressing and dangerous situation involving a white pit bull owned by the tenant of apartment 4SE and two golden retrievers belonging to the owners of apartment 5NE. I heard screams and immediately rushed outside to the deck, where I saw the pit bull aggressively attacking one of the golden retrievers downstairs. The scene was chaotic and alarming. The pit bull had its mouth gripped around the neck of one of the golden retrievers, and the pit bull's owner struggled to control it. The golden retriever's owner was attempting to separate the dogs, and a neighbor was using a broomstick to intervene. A child was crying in distress, and it was evident that the situation was frightening for all involved. Despite various attempts to control the pit bull, including using a very thin leash, the dog broke free and continued its aggressive behavior. The situation only de-escalated when another neighbor intervened and restrained the pit bull. Thankfully, emergency services arrived promptly following my phone call to 911. Although everyone involved was fortunate not to have sustained serious injuries, the potential for a much more severe outcome was evident. I hope this account clearly and accurately represents this incident. Please contact me via email or phone if further details or clarification are required. Thank you for your attention to this matter and for considering my testimony. Sincerely, Renata. Okay. And then this video that was submitted, is this the video that Renata took? So then it's probably appropriate at this point to enter that into the record now. So since we have it here.
Deixa eu ligar pra polícia. Ele e o cachorro da mulher. Ai, meu Deus. Ah, espera que eu vi. Você que tá ele onde é o menino? O cachorro. Sai que não é Can you set a police officer to 800 years?
Okay. Do you have anything else that you'd like to add at this time, Jessica, or should I move on to Victor?
Sorry, I'm just trying to think if I mentioned everything. No, I think.
Okay. Victor, do you have anything that you would like to add?
Well, I wasn't there at the time. I was at work, so when she called me, I left running, and I showed up. The police was already there. So I don't know if you guys got any questions for me, but it's just something needs to be done because it can be dangerous. It could be a kid or something, you know. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's because I only saw the pictures and I wasn't there. There's not much that I can say.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. And Dennis?
Yes, that dog, he already chased my little girl once. I told Greg back then. And then I said, Greg, you need to talk to her. See, you know, she needs to do something with the dog. Can't let the boy walk the dog because she's too small to hold that dog. That dog also tried to bite Vincent, who lives on the third floor. And also, it was the UPS guy back then, not on the same date, you know, the year before.
I will advise any hearsay. I can't take into the record as towards making a recommendation on this incident because there's nobody here to provide testimony
I
speaking to
understand.
that exact.
Yeah, I understand that.
So if you're just corroborating that you feel that the situation is such that the child is not capable of controlling the dog when it walks the dog, that's one thing. But speaking to other incidents where people are not here and reports have not been issued and we don't have, any historical background on any of that, can't be taken into account.
Okay. Yeah, I fear from my kids because that dog is dangerous. She, you can see in the video, she couldn't hold the dog. And then I fear for my kids. And for myself, of course. The dog is powerful.
Jacqueline?
Yes. So I live right underneath her. So it's me under and she's above. I've seen the dog several times. There's not just the behavior of this is being so dangerous. I don't even allow my little girl to go outside and play. I bought a place at Crossroad, a roof for my children and myself, and among other things, not just dog, several other problems that this person and her family brought to the condo.
Yep.
There was one time she was walking the dog right in front of my house where we have a grass that I tried to take care of it to make the place look good, and the dog pooped, and she just let the shit there. And I confronted her, and I said to her in her face, "You're not gonna pick up the dog's poop?" And she said, this, I don't wanna say the words here, "Shut up, mind your business," right in front of my place. I went inside and I tried to hold myself because I really, even though I am right underneath her, I think people around have more problems with her than me because I tried to hold it together. And I said, let the shit be, let the dog be, let me go inside. So this dog is 24/7 inside an apartment. A dog that needs to run, that needs to release all the anger that a pit bull have. And from what I see, we have a group chat that all the Brazilians and the neighbors, we talk about every incident that happens at Crossroad. We have a group chat that we talk, and I have seen videos of the dog running after somebody late at night, dog running after someone. Shouldn't even be allowed, honestly, at the condo, even though the condo allows animals in there. I think a pit bull showing these type of behaviors, it shouldn't be there because it's compromising so many other things. So this is just my testimony as I see this, and I see that she let the kids take the dog, a kid this big, 4 years old, 5 years old, take the dog out with improper leash, with improper, it's just, I don't see her doing anything to collaborate on this getting better, even though we've seen enough. So I'm here because I don't have an animal, but I know how an animal is for everyone, even for her pit bull. And I would hate for this to happen to my dog or my kid or anything like this. So as a neighbor, I told him I would come because I'm right under her. I see everything. I hold myself from calling the cops on her, from doing this. I'm trying to do the legal way by complaining to Crossroad as an owner of an apartment there and doing the things right. So I wanted to come and share this with you.
Understood.
Thank you.
Thank you. So at this time, we will take testimony from defendant, who in this case is Jessica.
Ashley.
I'm sorry, Ashley. My apologies.
Could I also have my friend sworn in as a character witness for my dog?
Sure. If you could sign in.
Do I provide my paperwork with you first, or my testimony, ma'am?
Testimony is fine first, and then paperwork after. Anything you want, like, read into the record after
Okay.
you provide your testimony would be fine. Nope, I do not. And I don't even need his it. So REINALDO
Yep.
TORR?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. Thank you. Oh, you can have your pen back. All right, Ashley.
I'm sorry, I have PTSD, so I have trouble speaking in front of groups sometimes, so please forgive me.
That's all right.
The morning of, I just want to say one thing. A few people here, I have a open court case with, and I'd like to say that some of the testimonies, I feel like are retaliation against me for other incidents.
I will just say this hearing today is to address the potential dangerous disposition of
understand.
your
I'm
dog
just
as it
saying.
pertains to this one incident. So other litigation
Yeah.
has absolutely no bearing on what will be determined as a result of this hearing.
Okay, I just want to say that Nipsey is my emotional support animal. I suffer with PTSD. I'm a domestic violence victim. Nipsey has been my emotional support animal. He's going to be turning 5 years old, and I've been working with Charlie for 5 years as well. Charlie's actually the one that helped me make Nipsey emotional support animal to let me keep him at Crossroads, and Greg knows that as well. I don't have my paper from my doctor, but you're not allowed to ask that anyways.
Right.
Greg does have that paperwork. I just want to say I was bit by their dog. I have the hospital paperwork. I have the pictures and videos on my phone to show afterwards. And then I also have the police report of that day, and I am the only victim on it of a dog bite. Also, I just want to say that on paperwork, my dog is a boxer, on vet paperwork. Also, I would just like to say, my kid has never, my dog has never harmed kids. I have 3 young children myself, aging from 13 to 6 years old, and he's lived with them since they were babies. I babysit most of the kids in the neighborhood. I at least have 4 or 5 kids in the neighborhood inside my house daily, and he's never once growled or done anything to harm them in any type of way. I take total advantage. I take responsibility for, I was asleep when this happened and I woke up, and my son, the lifeguard had told my son to take the dog out and show him my dog, and my son was going to the pool before he turned the corner to show the lifeguard, because the lifeguard asked him to bring my dog out, and I was not aware, I was asleep. I have trouble sleeping at night. I've had break-ins with my abuser lately, and they think that I'm a drug addict because of my appearance with no tooth, and they say a lot of things to people that I do fentanyl and everything, but they just judge a book by its cover, and they don't know why I stay up all night or why I don't have a tooth. Nipsey is my best friend and more. He helps me get through my daily activities, and he comforts me, and he lets me know if there is somebody entering my home, or if my baby's father, who I have a restraining order on for 5 years, who has broken into my apartment in Cape Crossroads in the middle of the day, and God knows what happens at night, but he is my protector, and he is the only thing that slightly makes me feel comfortable to sleep at all. I just want to say that.
Since I don't have like a written testimony from you of the day's events, I understand you were asleep when it started. Can you explain to me from your
I woke
perspective?
up, I heard my son yelling, "Mom," and I rushed out. I don't know what they were talking about, that I did not do anything, because every single person outside, I fractured my knee. I have pictures of that day of me covered in dirt. Everybody that was there knew that I tried to get my dog off the best of my ability, and I just want to say my dog did not bite their dog. If my dog was to bite through skin, it would have been blood everywhere. And you guys say a pit bull, but if my dog was to truly bite them, there would have been blood involved on their dog. And my dog was holding on to the neck, and he did not bite through. He was holding on. Their dog bit my dog in the head and bit me in 3 of my fingers. And I also put my hand on my dog. I got him off a few times. You'll see, you didn't see the whole video. That's not the whole video. But if you do see the whole video, you will see me taking my dog off 3 or 4 times and holding him down on the ground. And then my neighbor, Johnny, came, and I am only 5 foot, and I'm a little person. I did not have the strength in me, and my adrenaline was so high that I could not pick him up. And I got assistance from my neighbor, who then put him inside my home for
That's
me.
the person who was
Yes,
walking
Johnny
off with
is his
Nipsey?
name, yes.
Okay.
Johnny Lakin, I believe, Lakin.
Okay. So
And then
your
afterwards,
dog and you were bit during the
Yes.
interaction? Okay.
and I also have this to fill out today. I'm going to get it notarized against their dog for biting me, and I have a lawyer for the dog bite as well.
Okay.
And I have the hospital paperwork and also the report from Barnstable Police.
Okay, and those are all the things that you would like added into the record?
And I also have videos of my dog's head and videos of me at the hospital,
Okay.
of my finger and my knee.
Okay, and you want to add all that into the
And
record
also I have
now?
a few letters from like friends and family that have been around the dog. Also, I'm sorry.
If you wanted to submit it.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, okay. So why don't you bring all of that down here?
None of this. You're good. I think you got to show her the videos. Do you want the videos now?
Videos now or afterwards?
Yeah, you can show me the videos now too. I just, so I'll have to make copies of all this, just like I explained to Jessica. So here we have,
For the videos after.
no, you can just sit right here, that's fine. This is the copy of the incident report from the responding officer. Says on Sunday, August 11th, 2024, I, Patrolman Reese Fallon, was assigned to Mark Cruiser E212 patrolling the Hyannis sector of town at approximately 12 hours. I was dispatched to 800 Bierce's Way for a report of a large dog attacking a child. Upon arrival, I was informed that there was no child involved in the attack and that it was just between 3 dogs. I spoke with Ashley Osland, who stated that her dog, a pit bull and boxer mix, escaped her apartment and attacked 2 golden retrievers. Osland tried to break up the fight and got her right hand bitten by her dog in the struggle. Hyannis Fire Department evaluated Oslin for minor injuries and she was not transported. I then spoke with Jessica Muniz, who stated her 2 golden retrievers were outside of her apartment when they were attacked by Oslin's dog. Muniz stated Oslin's son, JC Caraballo, was walking their dog when it got away from him. The dog then attacked the 2 golden retrievers and it was broken up by neighbors. Muniz was evaluated by Hyannis Fire Department, but was not transported. Animal control arrived on scene and placed the dogs involved on a 10-day quarantine. An animal bite form was filled out and attached to this report.
A few days later.
This is a couple of days later. On the 16th of August, Patrolman Reese Fallon was assigned to Mark Cruiser E217, patrolling the Centerville-Osterville sector of town. At approximately 14:45 hours, I was dispatched to the police Barnstable Police Front Lobby for a report I took on Sunday, August 11th. In the lobby, I met with Ashley Osland, who stated that I made a mistake in my report. She stated that her dog did not bite her, that it was actually one of Jessica Muniz's dogs. She also stated that she did not believe her dog fully bit Muniz's dog. Osland explained that if her dog bit Muniz's dog, it would not have let go, and there would have been blood. I advised Osland that I would add a supplemental narrative to make note of her statement, nothing further at this time. Here I have from Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care on the 11th that there was a knee brace that was issued to Ms. Osland, and it has the after visit instructions for taking care of the knee.
It's the dog bite you missed here. There's information saying that I got bit by a dog at the hospital on this paper. You were seen here today for a dog bite.
Yep.
And then that is, I think, is important to read.
Okay. It just says, keep the abrasions in the hand cleaned with an antibacterial soap and water 2 to 3 times a day. Pat completely dry. Take the antibiotic as prescribed empirically for the next 5 days. This is to help prevent infection. And then ibuprofen and Tylenol for pain and discomfort. Ice the affected areas. No acute fracture to the knee, likely contusion from falling on the ground. Hinged knee brace for compression of the knee and support with ambulation. You can use a cane or crutches as needed for the pain with weight bearing. Get your knee up and elevated as much as possible. Ice 10 to 15 minutes a day, every 2 to 3 hours while awake. And then that you had an updated tetanus shot. And then you were given a Z-Pack and
Just antibiotic.
antibiotics
Yeah.
for the
Dog bite.
bite you sustained to your hand. That's just patient rights. Okay, and so treatment was received for the bite to the hand is essentially what that's showing.
Can I ask a question?
You can ask a question.
What's the date for that?
It looked like that was,
Because
The date of the
the
bite.
first report from the paramedics doesn't
The
say
11th?
anything.
it was on the 11th, so the same day as the incident took place.
I just have letters from my friends. I don't know. I like a lot, but.
Okay. So this is a text message to whom it may concern. Ashley's been a friend of mine for over 20 years, and she has always had animals, especially dogs. I myself have 3 children, one being 6 months old and the other 9 and 10. All my children have been around Nipsey since the day she got the puppy years ago. Nipsey's never shown aggressive behavior towards any of my kids and is a very sweet and loving dog. He's important to Ashley's family and is a support dog, not only to her, but her son. Taking that dog away from them will be very traumatic. Thank you, Brittany Waterman, and this was dated August 29th, 2024. This appears to be a text message from someone named Courtney. Yep, to whom it may concern, Ashley Osland and I, Courtney Cahalis, have been friends for over 20 years. I know that she would never have a violent animal in her house or around her children. My children, one being a newborn at the time, and myself have been around the dog multiple times and was never violent. The animal has always been loving and caring. Also, Wyatt is Ashley's emotional support animal. Please, any questions, feel free to call me. Thank you. That is a repeat. This is from someone named Brianna, to whom it may concern. I've been a close friend of Ashley for years, and she has had Nipsey since a little baby. I've known him since then as well. He's a very good dog and a great emotional support to Ashley. From her ex, Jory, she finds great comfort in his presence and snuggles and sweet kisses. I've also brought my 3 young kids around him, and he's amazing with children, of course, including her own 3 kiddos that he was raised and grew up with. Nipsey is an amazing pup and very sweet and affectionate.
I think that's just a letter from Jessica.
Yeah, that doesn't look like. So anything that I read into the record will have to be submitted.
I have like pictures too that you can.
Okay.
These are like the pictures of the day.
Okay. So we'll have to make copies of all of these. This just shows the injuries sustained to her hand during the incident.
It's just like rabies.
Yep. Which would have been submitted to animal control at the time of
It also says
quarantine.
boxer mix.
Yep, that's fine. You don't make determinations based on a breed of an animal. It's behavior at a given time of an incident that occurs.
And I just
So after the hearing, we're gonna have to figure out how to get those that were just read into the record
One more thing.
emailed.
This happened when my son had control of the dog, and it would not have happened if I had control of my dog.
Understood. All right, you can return to
Thank you.
your seat. Thank you.
You keep that for now, right? Get everything.
Yep, yeah, I'll make copies after the hearing's closed and then give everything back to you after. Ronaldo?
Yeah. You said that perfect.
Good, there we go.
I'm just here to speak on the character of the dog. I've known the dog since, it's been a puppy since she first got him, you know, shortly after her ex had broken in. My dogs, I have 2 dogs myself, and they've been around her dog. They've never had a problem. They all play in the back off leash together. The dog's been around my family, my mom, my husband, and never have I seen that dog aggressive. Only like one time when I went near the car, it gets aggressive when it's trying to protect, you know? And I feel that maybe the dog felt threatened at the time. Who knows? But I've never once seen that dog ever be malicious in any way towards children, towards adults, even to other animals, in my experience from her coming to my house.
Okay. Okay. And then, not that you would be a complainant or defendant in any capacity in this situation, but you are the property manager, as I understand, for 800 Bierce's Way, Gregory?
Yes, my name's Gregory Stalakis. I am the facilities manager, acting as agent for Cape Crossroads Condominium Trust under the Dartmouth Group.
Okay.
There's a lot said here so far. So there's truths, there's non-truths. What I can say is it all started when she moved in. First of all, most of these people hate me for this. There's probably 20 people who, it's my fault that there's a pit bull on the property.
So this is when Ms. Osland moved in then?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So there's that part. Now that something's happened, there's probably 40 people who, I've been threatened, I've been this, I've been that, which I don't care. I just want to know, I want you to know that this isn't the first time, all right? And when I complained about it was March 16th, 2023, after receiving this photo, okay, from a concerned person, dog without a leash, woman there. Second photo, dog without a leash, woman there. Okay. it also, when that happened, when that first started happening, all right, I called Charlie, okay? Charlie knew the person, we spoke, everything was okay, he knew her. She produced some kind of paperwork, and he stuck behind it that the dog had some boxer in it, okay? So, this is the condominium trust bylaws, rules, and regulations dated January 2019. On page 10, Article G, pets, I would say number 5, Article 5, this is where I make my point.
Okay, so under
So that is a
the
condominium.
condominium trust rules and regulations, January 2019, you referenced section,
Page 10, Section G, Article 5.
page 10, section G, which is pets, Article 5, which states no pit bulls permitted in any unit or on condominium property at any time.
Okay.
So I'll have to make copies of that and of that.
Okay, so the dog's not designated a pit bull, so I let it stay, okay? I let them try to do what they had to do. I understand, and I was with Charlie, you know, he's emotional, this and that,
Emotional support, yeah.
you know, right? So I was cool with that.
It's a different law.
There's other things, there's other factors that come into play with the family there, all right? So, yeah, she used it to protect it from her ex-husband, all right? But yet, when she moved in, her ex-husband lived there for a year, okay? And he already had an order against him.
Says that.
He's never lived there.
Never.
He's talking to me right now.
We'll get into that.
And honestly, like where your ex lived and didn't live has no bearing
Doesn't
on the
have any
temperament of your
Why are
dog.
you saying that?
I just don't
'Cause I
feel like,
can.
I just don't feel like my PTSD or my restraining order, I don't feel like you should allow this to be said.
Well, you mentioned it in your own testimony, so it's already been said. None of those notes were written down because it doesn't pertain to the temperament of your dog. In dog hearings, they often run emotional, and people say all kinds of things that I do not take into consideration when making a judgment.
All right.
Dog hearings are always very dramatic. They tend to be very emotional. They tend to involve neighbor relations, which tend to extend much further than just what you have as a pet. And I, as the hearing officer, understand that and have to make a determination on what is actually pertinent to the hearing today and what has no bearing on the hearing. And there's a lot of testimony today thus far that has nothing to do with the actual incident that occurred and that cannot be taken into consideration when making a recommendation.
Could I just ask Charlie to please,
Charlie will have an opportunity to speak after Mr. Oh, gosh, yeah, after Gregory is done speaking. Sorry.
All right, so this kind of thing started coming in, these pictures and things. I am also on a WhatsApp site, it's called. It's the social media for the...
Yeah, how most neighbors
Right.
communicate with each other.
So I don't participate because I can't read the language, but I see pictures. All right, so yes, I've seen some pictures of things like that. I've seen pictures of me towing cars. I've seen all kinds of stuff. So just so you know, he classified it as part boxer or something like that, and I took him at his word, and I took her at her paper's word, okay? This clearly, to me, is a pit bull, all right? I'm not educated enough. I didn't do a DNA test on it. I didn't do anything. But if you see that dog, this is a puppy right now, all right? That dog's a lot bigger now, okay? So,
my dog is full grown.
I'm not going to speak to the breed or mixed breed of a dog. I'm not an expert in such, and there are many different mixtures that you can attain that have either a lot of pit or a little bit of pit in them. But what I will say is under provision 2, Pets are not allowed in common areas unless they're leashed, and clearly there have been leash violations.
So you know, just so you guys know, I didn't let it go, all right? Which leads to this.
So this is an email sent to Megan Talty. Can you explain of the Dartmouth group, so of the group that manages the property on the whole. Good morning, Megan. This is Greg from CAP. I've had several calls, in-person reports, as well as witnessed this pit bull on our Cape Crossroads condo property. I've informed the owner of the dog and the property owner of this situation. This type of dog is not allowed on our premise as per our bylaws and has been left unattended several times. I've tried to work with the owner of this dog, but to no success, so please fine Unit 4 SE owner in the amount of $100 until this problem is resolved. I have multiple pictures and videos from concerned parents. The owner of this property is Albert Fitzgerald, Unit 4 SE. Thanks, Megan, Greg. And then there was a video attached, and this was dated March 16th, 2023 at 10:29 a.m. So we'll
Okay,
have to-
so as a result of this, I believe it was fined, that unit was fined 3 other times, okay? I spoke to the owner, all right? The owner said that dog wasn't there when she moved in, so she moved the dog in after she signed the lease. I don't know what her lease says, but he steadfastly calls it a pit bull, all right? So, when I confronted him and I fined him and, you know, words get exchanged, it gets heated,
Yeah.
all right? That's his defense, okay? That dog wasn't there when she moved in. He says it's a pit bull because there's no doubt in my mind, all right? He's now been confronted because she's doing something with a lawsuit by my portfolio manager, all right? So this guy's been, and they got into it, all right, about lawsuits, okay? So, again.
This is your due diligence, just, yeah, understood.
All right.
I do want to make it very clear that this is a privately owned and managed, like, condo association, and so those bylaws, the town manager would not, step in and take authority over a privately owned condominium to, like, exile a dog or anything like that. That's outside of the capabilities of this type of hearing. That's between, the Dartmouth group, the people who live there, et cetera. So just to make that very clear
Okay.
right now.
So now, we've got the dog classified as whatever, all right? Now this comes in, all right? What does that say?
So this is a copy of the quarantine order that was issued to Ashley for the dog bite that occurred as a result of the incident between the two Galdens and Nipsey on the 11th. I will state that typically when these types of interactions happen between dogs, when you can't tell like who bit who and what happened in the scuffle, all the animals are placed on quarantine. To my knowledge, Jessica's dogs were also put on 10-day quarantine as a result of this
How
scuffle.
is that dog classified?
It's classified on paper as a 4.5-year-old male pit bull that's white and brown.
Okay?
Yes.
That's by Charlie, not the vet.
It's also, like I said, has no bearing.
That's the back of her car.
Understood. It's just a sticker, a copy of the sticker that has some cheeky language if you don't like her pit bull.
Case closed.
Okay. So I'll have to make copies of all of that.
All right, except for, I have too much video.
Too much.
All right, I just have 45 cameras on the property. I have to look for a couple of things. Can I take a minute and you can go around?
Yeah, sure, we can come back to you. So at this point, we will take testimony from Senior Animal Control Officer Charles Lewis.
Good evening, good morning. I served the notices in hand, as previously stated. I had a copy of the letter that was sent to Jessica Muniz announcing the meeting as well. I took a report after the fact of this incident that occurred. After viewing the video that was submitted earlier that we viewed, I made a determination that there was an incident that took place between the three dogs. It appears that the pit bull mix was the aggressive dog, was not immediately taken under control as the owner was present at that time, struggled to get it. When she recovered the dog, pulled it back, it was obvious in the video that it either slipped a collar or broke a collar and re-engaged, all of which indicate the dog's dangerous disposition. I did place the three dogs on quarantine. They all cleared quarantine. I was told that the Barnstable Police Department responded on the day of the event. They assigned case number 24-1383-OF. I have had a history with this dog at a previous location. We received a number of barking dog complaints, concerns that the dog was not being cared for, walked, etc., which were not relevant at that time, nor at this hearing. And I did receive an email from Jessica Muniz regarding the situation. She submitted a letter, which you have a copy of, was dated August 12th, to whom it may be concern. And she wrote the complaint out and signed it. She also provided information from her vet on shot records, et cetera, for the dogs. I did receive notification from the hospital urgent care health center on Route 132 that they treated Ashley Oshland for a wound to her fingers, right hand. And these reports are completed by the person, the victim at the hospital or emergency center. They're not completed by the doctor. They are signed.
That's not true.
But-
The doctor.
Stop. She will determine if.
I've seen these reports. Usually the initial intake form is completed by the person who's at the hospital for treatment, depending on the nature
Yeah.
of the accident.
So I have this form as I've
Yeah.
provided you with a copy as
Yeah.
well. So based on that, as well as, my general interpretation of any event, when there's 2, 3, however many dogs, it's impossible for anyone to know what dog bit whom. So we always quarantine all the dogs that are involved. And I did, this again doesn't really have any relevance to the case per se, but I received a call from Lauren Perry, who requested information about the incident, which I did provide according to state law under the Freedom of Information Act to this individual, Ms. Perry, who apparently works for the Commonwealth of Mass as a social worker.
Okay. All right. So we are going to go around again. Jessica, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I just want to add that what happened was a miracle, and one of the things that thank God my dogs didn't get severe hurt, but the reason why they didn't get hurt is because they didn't react. I want to make that statement that in the entire attack, they were in fear, and they were just staying still, not knowing what was going on, and that's the reason why they didn't get injured. Because if they had to react, that would be a lot worse. And if it was a kid, it was a kid's arm or a leg, it would be a lot worse. And in the entire time, my dogs had no reaction with anyone, but they were just in fear and shock.
Victor?
Yeah, I just want to add, because you said that the bite didn't go through or anything. You could see on their skin that was, what do you call it? Yeah. And it was
So
some
it didn't
blood.
puncture the skin, but there was evidence of the bite having
Yeah.
taken place. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, when somebody gets like a bruise, but it doesn't necessarily break the skin.
Yeah, there
Understood.
was some blood and stuff, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that there was broken skin?
Dog, not broken skin, but you can see
Like evidence of the interaction?
Yeah.
Okay, understood.
So
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
You're gonna have to wait till we come back to
I'm looking
you.
at my phone, I'm
Yeah.
not even looking what's going on.
Hello, Moto.
Dennis, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Can I ask actually a question?
I would prefer that not take place in this hearing. Any questions would be directed at me.
It's just regarding of one thing that she said.
I don't really feel comfortable with that.
That she said if it was her walking the dog, that would never take place.
Right.
They would never engage.
And that does seem to be one of the largest concerns, is that when there's not a larger adult in control of the dog, that seems to be when people are most afraid that something will happen, and that something in this case did happen. Correct?
Yeah, my point is just how she handle that dog not to go after something. Because he needed Johnny to come and grab it.
Yeah.
She couldn't hold it.
Right.
She tried to break it, but she couldn't.
Okay. Jacqueline?
We'll be quick. I heard her testimonial, and she's saying that she used this dog as an emotional support for whatever she fights and go through, and use it as a protection too, because her ex-husband. And so it's an animal that she feels like he can do something to someone to protect her. After the incident, from the group, the kids shouldn't be walking this dog. As she proved here that she's the only one that probably the dog wouldn't act. But the kids are every day walking the dog,
Okay.
all the time. So if, of course, her dogs continue at Crossroad, it should be mandatory. And if it was one single evidence of not being her with the proper leash, picking up the shit, doing the things a person that have an animal should do, she shouldn't have a right to be there or to have this dog there. Because a kid, you need to learn to respect people and talk
Don't
on
talk
this
to
your
her.
time.
Please don't talk to her.
I'm going to ask everyone to
whole
stop.
time-
I will close
the
this
whole
hearing
time-
right now if we do not stop this, okay? Because at this point, I've heard what I need to hear regarding the actual incident that has taken place, and I feel we are devolving into neighbor-to-neighbor issues. Essentially, the incident happened. We can't ignore that the incident happened. The video shows your dog either breaking the leash or slipping the collar and going back towards the two golden retrievers. That is evidence, as explained by the animal control officer, of a dangerous disposition. How that is handled by the town manager in terms of a recommendation will be determined by him him, but I don't feel like we're going to get anywhere else continuing this conversation. It's just going to
Well, I'm
devolve
speaking
into
and she's
what
talking next to
I
me. That's
understand,
the only
but
thing
that
that
seems to
bothers.
be like how we're cycling in and out now. We've heard the facts of the incident at hand. We have the video that shows the largest incidents here, which are that the child did not have adequate control of the dog went after 2 other dogs, an attempt was made to get the dog under control. After the attempt was made to get the dog under control, it broke free and continued the aggressive behavior. And so that's what we have to take into account as we move forward. So honestly, I don't think I need to hear anything else here.
I just have one, I didn't show you the video of my dog's head being bit.
You have a video of that?
Of it punctured, yeah.
It was submitted after?
No, she can submit it.
Oh, okay, so you can,
with the other things. We don't have to see it today.
okay.
I saw it, but I saw the dog.
Right, so this isn't, right, okay. Was she treated for the injury? Okay, so just self-treated at home? Okay,
Can I say one thing or no?
yeah.
So I just want to let you know that both people got hurt,
Yes,
okay? Both people were treated,
yep,
all right? Both were treated in ambulance, okay? By the fire department. 2 ambulances were there,
no transport needed, yes. I saw that in the police report.
okay? It's only a matter of time. All right, I don't even, you said everything that the video would show. The kid was holding the leash, all right? The dog saw the 2 golden retrievers, or whatever they are. The kid is being pulled by the dog. All of a sudden, you see the kid holding the leash in his hand like this, okay? So he slipped out of his leash, he went over, you saw the attack, okay? It's only, the irresponsibility is driving what's going to happen later on,
Okay.
okay?
Like I said, I can't speak to what may or may not happen in the future. All we can speak to is the incident that took place. I believe we've heard, in regards to the actual incident, all that we could potentially hear. If there are videos regarding the incident that you want to submit after the fact, that's fine. Is now 11:03. I'm going to close this hearing. I will make copies of everything that's been submitted to this point. We'll forward minutes of this hearing to the town manager for his recommendation, which should be issued to both parties within like 10 business days typically, so like 2 weeks or so.